Dear students, today I am going to discuss Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. But before talking about this poem, I think it proper on my part to tell you something about the Victorian era and the crisis of faith in this age. The Victorian era was one of the change and growth which both helped and hurt society as a whole. The change and growth was seen in railway construction, a boom in factory and industry, a queen, scientific discoveries and women in higher education. As you all know that it was the age of energy and invention. It was the age of industrial revolution, and with industrial revolution certain other social changes also took place, like people had to leave their small villages and migrate to the big metro cities. Victorian England was extremely religious. Families during this time period were usually large, hard-working, respectable, and were taught religion at home. They were frequent church-goers and read Bibles regularly. But this was a scientific age also. There were new researches, new discoveries. Geologists, physicists, and other scientists started delving into religion, questioning the writings of oldest book known to men, the Bible. This was very hard on the people of this time, because science and religion had once worked hand in hand, making it seem like the world was in harmony. Now all that they held near and dear was causing great debate. Charles Darwin did not make things any better with his work The Origin of Species, better known as the Darwinism theory. Darwinism is a theory of biological evolution stating that all species of organisms arise and develop through the natural selection of small inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, to survive, and to reproduce. So there was debate everywhere. Darwinism, coupled with the new science discoveries being made in that period, posed serious problems for the church and society, causing people to challenge their religious beliefs and have many doubts. Although Arnold tried to find some sort of religious truth in his poems by using vivid imagery, setting the tone, and discussing his views of religion, he managed to arrive at different conclusions. Arnold's poem almost spells doom for the world. The poem Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold is about religion. It seems to talk about the lack of spiritual values during that era and the loss of faith due to existentialism, materialism, socialism, and Darwinism, which caused a downward spiral in the Christian faith. Arnold uses the sea to demonstrate a promise of eternity, continuity, and stability. The setting of his poem Dover Beach The setting of the poem appears to be inside a hotel room or some room. At the coast, and the room appears to be at the coast of English Channel near the English town Dover. Dover Beach is Matthew Arnold's best-known poem, written in 1851 and published in 1867. So perhaps Matthew Arnold visited this place, Dover Beach, in 1851 with his wife. He, married in the same year. It was inspired by two visits. He and his new wife, Frances, met to the south coast of England, where the white cliffs of Dover stand, just 22 miles from the coast of France. The speaker is staring at the French coast, some 20 miles away on the other side of the channel. The town of Dover is closer to France than any other port city in England. So he stands at the English side at Dover Beach and looks at the other side at the straits, which is in France, and it is around 22 miles away from that place, from the place where Matthew Arnold stands. The body of water separating the coastline of the town from the coast of France is the Strait of Dover, north of English Channel and south of the North Sea. The poet sees the light of the French coast gleaming, and now as the light has gone off, he concentrates on the English shore instead. The famous cliffs, steep rocks on the seashore of Dover stand tall with their large wavering reflections in the quiet sea. Dover Beach is a poem by Matthew Arnold about the clash between science and religion. The poem expresses the Victorian uncertainty that came from changing attitudes towards science and God. The poem describes the distinct clash between religion and the modern world. It has to be remembered that he was writing at a time when religion was under tremendous pressure from the sciences and evolutionary theory. Technology was taking a grip on life. Man and natural world and loss of faith are the major themes in the poems. Arnold, or the poet, laments the loss of faith in the world with resultant cruelty, uncertainty and violence. Although the world appears as a land of mesmerizing dreams, in reality humanity is standing on the verge of chaos, perplexed, confused and empty from inside. Therefore, he urges his beloved and himself to be true to one another to survive in this land. Arnold was well aware of the profound changes at work in Western society. He knew that the old establishments were beginning to crumble. People were losing their faith in God. As the advancement of technology and sciences and evolution encroached This vacuum needed to be filled, and the speaker in stanza 4 suggests that only strong personal love between individuals can withstand the negative forces in the world. Staying true to each other can bring meaning to an otherwise confused and confusing world. With the decay of Christianity and the demise of faith, only the beacon of interpersonal love can light the way. Throughout the poem, the sea is used as a beautiful natural image, a metaphor, and then a symbol. In the third stanza, the sea is turned into a metaphoric sea of faith, a symbol for a time when religion could still be experienced without the dark. While viewing the moonlit cliffs and listening to the roar of the waves at Dover Beach, the speaker uses the first 14 lines of the poem to describe the setting. The setting is inside a room, maybe a hotel, on the coast of the English Channel near the English town Dover. The speaker and his beloved are looking outside their window at the French coast across the sea. Arnold employs setting of the sea and mountain tops to draw together meaning and point to enduring truths about life. The poem as a dramatic monologue. Dover Beach is a dramatic monologue because the speaker is addressing a companion who does not answer back. He confides his existential sadness with her. The speaker confides a deep sadness over his loss of faith and his realization of the futility of human existence to the silent listener. Themes: man, the natural world, and loss of faith are the major themes in the poem. People's isolation and alienation from nature and one another, as well as loss of religious faith, is the main theme. Arnold is lamenting the loss of faith or culture in his society and painting a picture of a world as a result of the loss of faith is full of cruelty, uncertainty, and violence. Dover Beach is a poem concerned with faith and its loss. This is a poem that confronts troubles and fears rather than turning away from them. But it is also a poem that offers love as an anchor in difficult times. Arnold suggests that it is love which can act as an anchor to support us during turbulent periods in our lives.